Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another video. So thank you so much for clicking on this video. And today, guys, I just want to give you my honest opinions of the iPhone I purchased. Now, I didn't purchase this iPhone necessarily for me. I mainly purchased it to actually resell. But I've been testing out a little bit. And as you guys know, I come from the Android side of the spectrum. I've always used Android. I currently own an S9, and it's been awesome so far. The main thing I like is the camera on this, and the UI is very intuitive, and also the screen is the best quality screen I've ever used on a smartphone. So as I said, this is an iPhone 6s, so it's a bit old. It's not one of the recent iPhones. This came out in like 2015, I believe. So it's like 5 years old now, but I have to say that even though it's 5 years old, it's still rocking the latest version of iOS. So it's rocking iOS like 13. If I were to check, I'm not really familiar with the settings too much. General, keyboard. Okay, so so it's rocking 13.3.1. So it's on the latest version of Apple's software, or iOS, and it still runs really snappy, as you can see. It also has like the raise to wake feature, which is cool, and the fingerprint sensor also works really good. The one thing that was a little lackluster on this device was the camera. The camera is not the best quality, but it has a good facial detection. The selfie camera is like, it's meh. I believe it's like 5 megapixels. But the one thing I do want to like emphasize in this video, even though this is a really old device, is that Apple really make sure they take care of their older devices. And like, as I said, it's on the latest version of iOS. I don't know if it's going to be on future versions, but the fluidity of this device is really solid. There's no real lag on it, which I was really surprised at for a 5-year-old device. You don't really see that on the Android side too much. They are getting better at that, but yeah, it's a really seamless experience. It's a well-built phone, I have to say. So this was after the 6, so they built this with better aluminum, so it doesn't bend as much, like the Bendgate thing that was going on. Buttons are clicky, really tactile. I like the mute switch, how you can mute everything. I wish Android brought that over, but I mean, you have to deal with it. I thought the apps were very useful, really easy actually scrolling throughout the screen and whatnot. Notifications were not as intuitive as on the Android side. As you can see here, it's kind of like a jumbled mess, and it's kind of hard to like read through them. Android does a great job grouping their notifications together. But I thought the app experiences were pretty solid. Like, for example, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, Gmail, and YouTube Studio all work really solid. And even though this is not an AMOLED screen, this is an LCD, and it's 720p, I believe. I still believe the screen on this is actually pretty solid. They do a good job at color accuracy, and I will say that the speakers, it gets loud, but it's not that clear. You can use this for watching YouTube content.
Of being locked in the house, aka social distancing. Oh, and here's a fun tip I learned today. Your phone.
So YouTube is okay. It's a 16:9 aspect ratio, so you're not going to get that like long 18:9 aspect ratio that you get with most Androids, and even the recent iPhones have that same ratio. If it's like 19:9, it can stretch up that much. But yeah, like overall seamless experience. Camera's okay. I wouldn't buy this phone for the camera, but yeah, all the I mean, you can download Google Apps on here. So if you're like a hardcore Android guy and you're like, oh, I hate iPhones, I mean, that's kind of like me, but you still download like Android apps. But I do believe Google apps run better on Android. But podcast app I thought was really useful. Shout out Like an Easy Podcast. Go give that a listen. It's awesome, guys. Links below for that. App Store, super easy to navigate. I will say though that the Google Play Store is actually getting really better, a lot better, in terms of interface and just usability and stuff like that. Photos app was cool. I didn't really use stock apps. So the last two things I just want to discuss are iMessage. Now, obviously, I didn't put my SIM card in this. I didn't use it for messaging or anything like that. But I will say that iMessage is pretty solid. Obviously, I didn't have an extensive period to use it, but The app's smooth, and it's very useful for those who like to text over Wi-Fi, and obviously it's built for iPhone users. And it is kind of annoying when you have to deal with Android people, but I just wish that Apple would allow iMessage to be universal and be allowed on Android. That's one pet peeve I have with iPhones. Even though their messaging app is really good, it's not fair to Android users to not have that same access. And I wish Google would make their own messaging app that was better, because right now they don't really have one, and it's kind of annoying. And the last thing I just want to discuss is 3D Touch. 3D Touch on this. So if you you hard press an app, it's kind of hard to do. And it brings up options. I found this like really seamless and like actually useful for some cases. Like if you want to take a selfie, and you can do this on Android, by the way. You hold down the camera and then you go to like take a selfie. It'll go straight into the selfie camera. Look at that, I'm recording. And it's really cool. I just found it really useful. So guys, that's gonna be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Helps the videos get out there. And check out Life and Easy Podcast. You can also become a channel member down below if you'd like to support me, and go buy some merchandise. I have that all linked below. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.